Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Wages of Fear, and this is a remake based off of a novel written by Georges Arnaud, and this film is directed by Julien Leclerc, and focuses on this situation where there's going to be a deadly explosion, and a team who's driving 2 truckloads of nitroglycerine have to get through a dangerous desert in 24 hours. And you would think that this is from start to finish a thrilling ride in the sense of like it has this perpetual motion, it has this urgency, but there's so much clunky setup to this that has all of this obnoxiously cliched and just boring fixings and elements to try to put this into play, where it's like you could have just had a team spend some time building up some of their personalities and got to work. You could have set up and adding layer of intrigue, but the setup that was done is clunky, unimaginative, and kind of boring. And you have this relationship between these 2 brothers, and when you go up, when somebody's like, come do this one job, there's no risk at all. And you're just like, yes, there's definitely going to be risk involved. And guess what? It goes wrong. And you have all this setup, and it's told in a very clunky way that the whole first act of this is very choppy in terms of its storytelling. It's not very clear, it's not concise, and it's not moving well enough to get us to the main crux of the film. Sure, once you get there, there's some thrilling action moments and stuff like that. But what's lacking is you have a simple plot, but you have a whole bunch of nonsense thrown in to overcomplicate it that just distracts from the lean setup and concept that you have that you can really leverage for action. Sure, it has some thrilling moments, but the characters along the way are so bland and the performances aren't particularly engaging or interesting to add layers to it. It just feels like it's this lazy, half-effort kind of script that doesn't really invest in its characters. It thinks that it's adding some layers of intrigues and twists and turns when you can see them coming a mile away, or they're just not interesting or executed well enough to be shocking, surprising, or engaging. And by the end, I was pretty bored for a decent amount of this movie, which if you're making an action movie and I'm bored, that's a problem. You can have a human drama that takes its time and methodical and paced at that point. It's like, okay, fine. It might be slow. It's supposed to be an action movie. And it just feels like so much of it is just empty space, empty calories, and just not much that comes to the surface. It's just basically all surface level. And it's concerning me, like, this was a remake and a readaptation of a book. I hope those are better. This one just feels so half-hearted and lazy and just chucked onto Netflix. But those are my thoughts on The Wages of Fear. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.